So you want to build a bigger chest, you don't have tons of equipment. I'm going to show you how you can do so with one piece of fitness equipment that you can use for 3 different variations that are going to help to grow your chest. The piece of equipment that we are going to be using, that everyone, if you're really serious about fitness, calisthenics, things of that nature, should be have, is a set of rings. Now rings, why rings? They're very versatile. You can take them anywhere. You can take them on holiday. You know, you can set them up anywhere as long as you have something to suspend them from. Very usable, very versatile, and it's going to get you the gains, guys. So to start off with, we're going to do a ring push-up. Now the good thing about rings is that they're scalable, so we can work at different levels depending on where your fitness level is right now. You can make the rings shorter or longer to get the desired result. Now obviously if you make them shorter, then that's going to be more for beginners. The longer you make them, the more intense the exercise is going to be. So we're going to start with ring push-ups. You can start with the rings as high as your chest, and you just practice building that pushing motion just like that. Now as you get stronger and stronger over time, we make the rings longer, and that means we're going to have to push more of our own body weight. So let me just see if I've got this in the right place. Nice. So as you can see, the rings are longer, our body is now more parallel to the ground, which means we're going to push more of our body weight and makes the exercise more intense. So when we're coming down, it's a nice controlled descent, and then we get that squeeze at the top. So we get the extension and then flexion at the top. So a nice stretch on the chest, push back up, guys. Now we can take it again to another level. So if you make them even longer, this is where we really earn our money. So now that they're even longer, we can even bring our feet up onto a surface just like that. The great thing about ring push-ups is that it does allow us to go into a deeper range of motion. If we do push-ups on the floor, the ground obviously is a limiting factor. We can only go so far. When our chest hits the ground, the exercise is over. However, with ring push-ups, we can go a little bit further, get a bit more stretch in the chest, more gains, larger range of motion, can help our shoulders become more flexible and mobile as well. So ring push-ups are going to be your friend, especially when you start to get stronger and stronger. Then you can start doing things like weighted ring push-ups or with a weight vest on, and then that's just exponential gains. So that's the first exercise that you can do. As I said, beginners start high. As you get stronger and stronger, you make the ropes longer, and then that's when the real gains start to come in. The next exercise is going to be ring flies. Now in terms of body position, it's the same body position as the ring push-ups. However, instead now we're bringing the rings out like that, and then we're coming back up. So we're getting a good stretch on the chest here, push back up. We want to make sure that we're keeping our core tucked nice and tight for this movement as well. We're not letting the core and the hips sag too much. In the beginning, it is going to be kind of difficult to get that motion pattern down, but as you get stronger and stronger over time, that's how you do it. And what we're trying to do is put enough tension on the chest to help it grow. Now similarly for the ring push-ups, we can make these ropes shorter, which makes the exercise a little bit easier for beginners or intermediates, depending on where your skill level is at. So we can really focus there, still get our reps in, still get the gains. Take your time with this exercise. It is going to feel a little bit funny at first, especially if you haven't been doing any sort of flies at all. But if you don't have weights, it's a great option to use instead of doing traditional flies with dumbbells or cables, things of that nature. So ring flies, very easy, no setup really at all. And the same way that we can make them longer to make your exercise more intense, you can do the same thing with the flies. And you can also bring yourself parallel to the ground and that's when it's going to really get hard. Again, you can add a weight vest, anything like that. Now for the third and final exercise, and probably the most difficult out of all the three, is going to be ring dips. Now, why is this the most difficult? Because it requires the highest amount of strength and stability. So ordinarily, most people do rings on parallel bars, so it's a fixed piece of equipment compared to the rings, where you kind of have to hold them in place. Number one, you have to use your core to stabilize your body as well, and then you're using your chest to push yourself up and down. What should I say? Chest and triceps. So the ring dips is not an exercise that you should play with, and you should do them if you really want to get a big chest. So we're just going to come here, going to dip down, push back up, under control. Now, if your first time doing this, it's going to feel nearly impossible to come down and push back up. That is okay. There is many different regressions that you can do. However, once you do find the strength, you're still going to feel your core engaged, like nearly your whole upper torso is engaged, because you are having to hold these rings in place while controlling the movement pattern. But what's excellent again about the rings is it does allow for that deeper range of motion, especially if you're tall like myself, and you know, some parallel bars are not that high. It does allow you to get a really good stretch down the bottom, push back up, stretch, push back up. Quality movement that you can do. Take your time with it. As you do progress and your numbers start to get higher and higher, you can start to do things like weighted ring dips. Now again, that's no joke either, but take your time, see how it goes, and then progress from there. So that's 3 exercises that you can do just using a set of rings. Rings are quite inexpensive depending on which ones that you get. Some are obviously more expensive on the higher end, some are cheaper, but everyone should be able to roughly, you know, maybe ask for a Christmas gift or a birthday gift, something like that. But very versatile. 3 different movements that you can do that's going to help to build your chest from 3 different angles. You don't have to do all of them in one time, in one session. You can spread them out, program into your routine correctly, and then build from there. But I hope you enjoyed watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.